Yeah. Good morning to one and all. Shall we start the class? Yeah. So today we will try to close the expansion of solids. If possible, we'll start expansion of liquids. There are some applications, there are objective applications based on expansion of solids. Applications of expansion of solids. Okay. So, and the first one is thermal stress. Thermal stress. So let us see this. What is mean by thermal stress means. For example, observe clearly. This is the two rigid walls. A rod. Okay. A rod of metal rod. For example, a metal rod, which was whose coefficient of linear expansion is alpha, which was clamped between the two rigid walls at an angle theta 1 degree. At an angle theta 1 degree. For example, if the temperature is increased from theta 1 degree to theta 2 degree, then what will be happen? This rod is try to expand, but it is clamped between the two rigid walls. No? But it is clamped between the two rigid walls means these rigid wall will resist that expansion. So during that process, this rod will try to expand so that it will try to push the two walls. When these two walls is experiencing an outward force means in reverse manner, walls offers some force on the rod inward direction. Okay. So because I think you know that there is an action and reaction forces. So on such cases, what will be happening is because of that. So if the rod is left free, it can expand free. Okay, there is a free expansion, no problem. But if the rod is clamped between the two rigid supports, the rigid supports will resist the expansion of rod, so that it will try to expand means the rigid supports, the rigid walls, which is resist that expansion. So during that, the rod will exert some force on the walls. In reverse manner, walls are also exert some force on the rod. So because of that, internally some tension will be generated. The tension generated per unit area of cross section of the rod, that is known as thermal stress. The tension generated, the T in the sense tension, not temperature. Temperature is indicated by the letter theta. That's why the tension generated per unit area of cross section. So, for example, if A is the area of cross section of this rigid rod, and the tension generated due to the increase in temperature is T, means stress in the rod, that's equals to, we can write T by A. Okay, so this T is nothing but a kind of force. No? That's why we can write F by A also. We can write the stress. So that is about thermal stress. How to calculate the thermal stress means. So see here, I will give the formula of Young's modulus. Still, it is not completed. It will be finished in the chapter called Mechanical Properties of Solids. Till then, please remember the formula. Young's modulus Y is equals to FL divided by A into delta L. A is called Young's modulus. F is the force, L is the length, A is area of cross section, and delta L is nothing but what? Delta L is change in length. Okay, delta L is change in length. Young's modulus formula is this one. Okay, so from this relation, what can we write? F by A is equals to Y. Okay, we can write y into delta L divided by L, we can write y into delta L by L. So what is this? F by A stands for the force acting per unit area. That force acting per unit area we can call it as a stress. So therefore stress F by A, that's equals to y by L into delta L. But from the concept of thermal expansion, what we have studied, that is alpha is equals to delta L by L into delta theta. So that implies we can write delta L, that's equals to L alpha into delta theta. This L alpha into delta theta is substituted in this expression. Then we will get stress is equals to y by L of delta L means L alpha into delta theta. This L gets cancelled. Finally, we can write. Okay, finally we can write thermal stress, that's equals to y alpha into delta theta. Still we can further y alpha of theta 2 minus theta 1. So this is about the thermal stress which was generated. So here thermal stress is generated not only during the expansion, it will generated in compression also. For example, similarly the same thing. So here rod we have taken. No? So here the string I have, the string, this is a string, okay, which was tagged between the two rigid walls. So then if the temperature is increases, what will be happen? The length of the string is increases, the string will sags, no problem. If the temperature is, for example, if it is clamped at theta 1 degree, and if the temperature is decreased to theta 2 degree, what will be happened? The string will try to compress, but it is rigidly clamped between the two rigid walls, means the rigid walls, so while compressing that, it will drag the rigid walls together. In similar manner, rigid walls drag the string in opposite direction. Because of that, internally stress will be generated. That is also called thermal stress. So there is also we can use this formula. There is also we can use this form. So here in case this is the rigid case, metal rod. If the metal rod is contracting, then what will be happen? It will be fall from this one. Okay. So if it is expired, the temperature of the metal rod is increases, what will be happen here? The length of the rod is try to increase, but here there is no chance of free expansion during the process. When it is try to increase its length, it will exert some force on the rigid wall. In reverse manner, rigid walls are also exert some force on the rod. Because of this, internally some tension will be generated. So tension is a kind of force, no? So the tension generated per unit area of this rod is known as the stress. The physical quantity stress is nothing but force acting per unit area. Here T amount of the tension generated in the string in this rod of area of cross section A because of this expansion. So the rod is trying to expand. During that, it will offer some force on these rigid walls. In reverse manner, rigid walls are also offer some force on the rod. Because of that, a tension will be generated inside. The tension is a kind of force, no? So the tension for unit area is known as the stress. So therefore, stress is the tension. T tension is a kind of force. So that's why I can write this F by A. And from Young's modulus, this is the formula F by A value. We can write it here, stress. And from the concept of this expansion of solid, alpha can be written as like this. There onwards, we can write. This is the expression for thermal stress. And here, thermal stress generated not only in expansion, it can be generated in compression also. Instead of taking this rigid rod, I have constructed a string which was tagged between the two rigid walls at an angle theta 1 degree. For example, here temperature is increases means the length of the string is increases. It's no problem. If the length is increasing means it will sags. It will sags. But if the temperature is decreases, what will be happen? If the temperature of the string is decreases means it will try to compress, contracts. So during that time, it will the string will drag the two walls together in reverse manner. These two walls drag the string in opposite direction. Because of that, here also internally that force tension will be generated. So tension is generated means automatically thermal stress is generated. That thermal stress formula is this one. So the same formula we can use for expansion as well as compression also. Got it? Got it, students?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
sir,
So copy this one.
sir, delta L will be 0, no, sir?
Delta L will be
0, no, sir?
that's what we have eliminated delta L. No, there is no chance of free expansion. That delta L is eliminated by using this formula.
Yes, sir.
Sir, explain once more, sir.
Okay. So just like a thermal stress is nothing but Young's modulus formula is this. This will be okay. So a rigid rod we have taken. Okay, so a rigid rod whose area of cross section is A. This is an area of cross section A, and material of coefficient of linear expansion is alpha. It is clamped between the two rigid walls at a temperature theta 1 degree. If the temperature is increased from theta 1 to theta 2 degree, then what will be happened? So then in this case the rod is try to expand. So when the rod is try to expand, mean there is no chance of free expansion here. So during that expansion, it will offer some force on the rigid wall. In reverse manner, these walls are also offers the same force on the rod. Because of that, internally the tension will be developed inside the rod. The tension developed per unit area of the rod is known as the stress. Stress is equal to T by A. Tension is nothing but a kind of force. That's why I can write this T by A is nothing but F by A. So here F and T both are same. F is a force, so T is also a kind of force, tension. So which was generated inside the solids and springs. Tension is also a kind of force. We can write like this. And from Young's modulus, F by A equal to that one. So substituted this value F by A. So therefore, and from the concept of the thermal expansion, alpha equal to this. And with proper calculation, we got this. This formula is applicable for not only expansion in case of contraction, also just we have seen in case of the string. There also we can use this formula, thermal stress. Okay, copy this one. Still,
Sir, K is same as pressure now, sir. So can we say that stress equals to pressure?
stress is equals to.
Pressure.
There is a slight difference between the stress and pressure. Pressure means the normal force acting per unit area is called pressure. Stress may be normal or parallel, whatever it may be. That is the difference.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Copy it first.
Copy it, sir.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Next, second application. This is the
Disturbance, sir. Last line of the stone erasure.
copy. So here, if you want, you can write this. T is a tension, not a temperature or time. T is the tension, the kind of force that is. Time lost or time gained by pendulum. Okay, so now we have digital clocks, analog clocks, but olden days pendulum clocks will be there. Have you seen that pendulum clocks, students?
Seen, sir.
So pendulum clocks are there like this. So this is the pendulum. It is oscillating to and fro, to and fro. By that the time can be calculated. It will be shown by the wall clock. Have you seen such wall clocks? Isn't it? Yeah. So in movies also you may have seen this type of wall clock. So this pendulum is made up of the material invar steel. Why it is made up of the invar steel rather than other materials like brass, aluminum, iron? So many metals are there. Now why we need to go for an alloy called invar steel to make this pendulum rod means how this time can be calculated means how the time can be calculated by counting the oscillations. The time period of such oscillation, T naught is equal to, we can write 2.2 square root of L by G. This is also you will get in a chapter called simple harmonic motion or oscillations. There we can see the time period of the pendulum. So if this pendulum takes exactly 2 seconds to complete one oscillation, then it will show the correct time. If the pendulum is taking less than 2 seconds or greater than 2 seconds to completing the oscillation, there is an error with the measurement. There is an error with the measurement. So if exactly the value of T naught means time period, time taken to complete one oscillation, that is called time period. If this T naught value is equal to exactly 2 seconds, okay, so then the pendulum will show the correct reading. It will be not 2 seconds means definitely this clock is does not showing the correct time. So why this T naught is changes means this L. When this L is changes, L stands for length of the pendulum. This is nothing but length of the pendulum L. When this L is constant means automatically T naught is also constant. G is the gravity. Okay, so at particular place G is constant. So if L is changes means automatically T naught is also changes. Why the L is changes? Because of the atmospheric temperature. On winter season, temperature is drops to some 14 degrees or some 12 degrees temperature. Generally, room temperature is 27 degrees. On summer hot day during that afternoon time, it may be rises to some 40-45 degrees temperature. So here onwards, from the room temperature onwards, temperature is increases means automatically this pendulum will expand. If the pendulum will expand means L is going to increases. L is increasing means time period is also increases. Understand this one, students?
So once again, you
So if L time is, if the temperature is increases from 27 degrees is the room temperature. So that is an average temperature. If the temperature is increased from this room temperature, then automatically absorbing the heat, the pendulum clock will expand. The pendulum clock is expand means automatically length is increases. When length is increases means time period is also increases. On such case, pendulum took some extra time to complete one oscillation, like 2.1 second. Okay, it may take 2.1 second instead of 2 seconds to complete one oscillation. Similarly, if the temperature is decreases, what will be happen? If the temperature is decreases means the length of the pendulum is contracts, so that L is decreases. L is decreases means time period is also decreases. Instead of 2 seconds to complete one oscillation, it may takes 1.9 seconds. 1.9 seconds. So it means that if the temperature is increases or decreases, the pendulum clock does not shows the correct time. Then what is an error shown by the pendulum clock when the temperature is increased? What is an error that is shown by the pendulum clock when the temperature is decreases? That we are going to find the time lost or time gained by the pendulum means how much the error it is showing when the temperature is increases, that is and how much the error it is showing when the temperature is decreases. We'll discuss that when the pendulum clock will loses the time, when the pendulum clock will gain the time. First let me derive that what is the magnitude of the time which is lost or gained by the pendulum during the temperature differences. So understand why the pendulum clock will loses the
Sir, its temperature is directly proportional to L, sir.
Temperature is
Directly proportional to L, sir.
temperature is increases means length is increases now. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, already we got it L2 that's equals to L into 1 plus alpha into delta theta. Not directly proportional, but it is increases with temperature. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Time period is directly proportional to root L, not L. Okay, so here T is directly proportional to root L. So now let us see this one. Okay, so let me derive the time period. So therefore, at theta 1 degrees, okay, so then time period T naught that's equals to 2 pi into square root of L naught or else L naught by G. At theta 2 degree, then time period T is equal to, I can write 2 pi into square root of L by G, where L is the length of the rod at theta 2 degree temperature. I mean L naught is the length of the rod at theta 1 degree, means I can write according to this relation L2 that's equals to L1 of 1 plus alpha into delta theta. According to this relation I can write L is equals to L naught of 1 plus alpha into delta theta. Okay, so therefore if I substituted that value here, here I am writing, observe clearly. So therefore T is equals to 2 pi square root of, in place of L I can substitute this L naught of 1 plus alpha into delta theta divided by G. So this can be written as T is equals to 2 pi square root of L naught by G into root of 1 plus alpha into delta theta I can write. So in place of this 2 pi into square root of L by G means I can write this original time period, that is the time at which it will shows the correct time at the temperature theta 1, where the time period is T naught to 2 pi equal to root L naught by G. If I substituted that then I'll get T is equals to, are you able to see?
Yes,
So
sir.
T is equal to some T naught into root of, I can write 1 plus alpha into delta theta.
Sir, so can you write a bit big, sir?
Yes, sir.
Not quite visible. A little big, sir.
Okay, so like this we can write it. If T naught is taken this side, then T by T naught that's equals to 1 plus alpha into delta theta whole power 1 by 2. Already we have discussed it yesterday. This alpha into delta theta is very small, no? Isn't it? It is less than 1. According to binomial expansion, just yesterday we have discussed that 1 plus x whole power n equal to 1 plus nx if x value is much less than 1. According to that, I can write t divided by t naught that's equals to 1 plus half into alpha into delta theta. So if this one is taken this side, then t by t naught minus 1 that's equals to alpha into delta theta by 2. So therefore t minus t naught divided by t naught that's equals to alpha delta theta by 2. So here t minus t naught means, what is the t minus t naught? Nothing but change in time lost or time gained only. Here t minus t naught is nothing but change in time period. So then I can write delta t divided by t naught that's equals to alpha delta theta by 2. What is this delta t by t means the fractional changing time period of the pendulum. So then delta t is equal, I can write alpha delta theta by 2 into t naught. So this is nothing but time lost or time gained by the pendulum during the change of temperature. This delta t is nothing but time lost or time gained by the pendulum. So if delta theta equal to 0 means automatically delta t is also going to become 0. If there is no change in temperature means there is no loss or gain of the time in case of the pendulum. Okay, just have a look on it. This is how the time is gained by the pendulum, time is lost by the pendulum means according to this. The formula which you can get in the chapter called oscillations. The time period of the pendulum formula that is equals to 2.2 square root of L by G. 2.2 square root of L by G. Usually pendulum clocks are designed to work at room temperature at 27 degrees centigrade. Usually. So we can't say that the temperature is constant at 27 degrees centigrade only. Sometimes it may raises its value, sometimes it may falls the temperature. So if the temperature is raised, what will be happen? Generally at 27 degrees centigrade, the pendulum will take exactly 2 seconds to complete one oscillation. Then it will show the correct time. That is called seconds pendulum. We can speak. Later we can see that what are the seconds pendulum that and all. So if the temperature is increased on a day, for example, on afternoon, on a hot summer day, temperature is increased from 27 to 45 degrees. Then what will be happen if the temperature is increased? It means all the objects in the atmosphere gains that heat. So once heat is gained means automatically you know that the distance between the two atoms in a solid is increases, thereby length of the pendulum is increases. When L is increasing means automatically time period is also increases. So that instead of completing one oscillation in 2 seconds, it will complete the oscillation in 2.1 seconds. So how much time it is taking extra? 0.1 second is time is taking extra to complete one oscillation. Similarly, in winter season, generally during the night times, temperature sometimes may drop to less than 12 also. For example, on a day there is a temperature drops to 12 degree temperature, 12 degrees centigrade. On such case, what will be happen? Temperature is decreases means the pendulum is try to contract so that the length is decreases. When length is decreases means automatically time period time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation that is also decreases. Instead of completing one oscillation in 2 seconds, it may complete the one oscillation in 1.9 seconds. So here also the error is 0.1 second. So then what is the time lost and what is the time gain? How can we calculate means at the calibrated temperature theta 1 degree, the formula of the time period T naught equal to 2.2 root L naught by G. This is the when this is the temperature theta 1 where this pendulum shows the correct reading, and at the temperature theta 2 degree the time period is equal to 2.2 root L by G. So here according to this formula I can write L equals to this one. Substituting then I got this relation. So T naught is taken this side, and here also alpha values, beta gamma values are very small. If we go for binomial expansion, this expression we can write like this, and this one is taken this side t minus t naught, that's equals to this one. So then t minus t naught is nothing but change in time period. So therefore this delta t by t naught is nothing but fractional change in time period. So then delta t is nothing but time lost or time gained. So t naught is the time. For example, half day or 1 day or 6 hours. So during that time, what is the time lost? What is the time gain? Means we can calculate by using this formula. So if there is no change in temperature, means there is no loss and no gain of the time period. So when the pendulum will gains the time. When the pendulum is loses means just have a look on it. So here exactly one oscillation has to be completed in 2 seconds, but when the temperature is increases, pendulum is taking 2.1 seconds. So hence how much time extra it is taking? 0.1 second. 0.1 second time is pendulum is taking extra means the pendulum is said to be running slowly. So that's why when the temperature is increases, the time is lost by the pendulum. And here it is. If the temperature is decreases means instead of completing one oscillation in 2 seconds, the pendulum is completing oscillation in 1.9 seconds. So it means that in this case the pendulum is running slowly. In this case the pendulum is running fast. Hence, here in this case, time is gained when the pendulum is running fast means the time will increases the more it will shows more than the actual value. That is time gained by the pendulum. If the pendulum is running slowly means it will show the time less than the actual value. That's why the time is lost by the pendulum. When the temperature is increases, time is lost by the pendulum. When the temperature is decreases, time is gained by the pendulum. The amount of the time that is gained or lost by the pendulum that can be identified by this relation. So that is about the time lost or time gained by the pendulum. Okay, clear? Got it, Emma? Yeah. So first you can write this. Okay, just you can write this 1 or 2 lines. Then you can write it. Okay. So at the theta 1 degree temperature, at the theta 1 degree, the time period you can write this. These are all not required. No need to write. Okay. This is to understand. We are discussing that. You can write time period. Okay. Time period T naught equals to you can write. And at the theta 2 degree, T is equals to this one. So till here you can write. Till here. Till there, till that line you can write.
So in second part, second step, sir, how it comes out?
Which one?
In second part, sir, t equals to t, so t naught root 1 plus.
This one. Not.
No, sir, in the next part, sir.
This where this is a.
So next step.
This one. Huh?
Next step, sir.
Here, Amma.
Ah, yes, sir. So from that to next step, how it will come?
Just this T naught is brought to this side, it will come to denominator. No? Root means we can write power 1 by 2.
After that, how can we write 1 plus half into, yes, sir, that one.
Have you attended last class?
Yes, sir.
So there what we have taken this is 1 plus x whole power n equals to 1 plus nx. If x is very much less than 1, if this condition is satisfied, we can write if the 1 plus x whole power n is there, we can write that is 1 plus nx. No? Similarly, here I have written 1 plus x whole power n. But here this alpha delta theta values is very insignificant. Alpha value is very small.
The board is blurred, sir.
Yeah.
The board is blurred, sir.
This is, you know this now. Yesterday it was there in your notes or not?
Yes, sir.
So
Same.
according to that I wrote 1 plus this thing.
Okay, sir. Understood.
So since pendulum do not give accurate time, then why it is used for saying time?
That's why it is made of inverse steel. Inverse steel shows negligible change in length. That's why that inverse steel pendulums will shows almost accurate. Okay. The reason is why the pendulum clock is made of inverse steel means inverse steel almost does not change, does not show the change in length over a range of temperature like from around this 0 to 100 like that. So that's why these pendulum clocks are made of the material called inverse steel. Because of that, almost the length of the pendulum is constant. Length of the pendulum is constant means time period is constant. So then time period is constant means pendulum almost shows the correct reading. Got it?
So one oscillation equals to how many seconds like that? So 2 seconds, no, sir.
Yeah, one oscillation. If it is take 2 seconds to complete one oscillation, then it will show the correct time.
So it is universal all clocks, sir.
Universal. Okay, so yeah, seconds pendulum is for universal. Universal in the sense when this g value is increases, then automatically t is also going to be changes at that particular place. To give the correct time, that time it must be 2 seconds. So if the g value changes, in order to get 2 seconds, we need to change the length also.
Okay.
Okay.
This 2 seconds is fixed.
2 seconds is fixed for a seconds pendulum. Seconds pendulum time period is 2 seconds. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Board is blurred, sir. The board is blurred.
Now at least.
No, sir. Condition is persistent.
Wait just a moment. Not able, nah. Now it is okay, ma.
No, sir. It's blurred. Not anything on the board.
Now it is okay.
No, sir.
Okay, na?
So completely blur, sir.
It's blurred, sir. Starting with the class, it's blurred, sir. Not too much.
Wait a moment. Now it is okay, students.
Yes, sir, clear.
So let's stop here. So till here it is done, na? Till here. So the next step we can write the fractional change in time period. The fractional change in time period of the pendulum. So we can write this. This step delta t by t naught, that's equals to half alpha delta theta. Half alpha delta theta. Half alpha delta theta. So next one, the time lost or time gained by the pendulum. The time lost or time gained by the pendulum. Time lost or time gained by the pendulum. Delta t is equals to, we can write this. Delta t is equals to, we can write this. So make a note of this point, students. If the temperature is gained, this is important point. If the temperature is gained, the clock is running slow, hence time is lost by the clock. Clock is running slow, hence time is lost by the clock. Next point, if the temperature is decreased by the clock, time is lost by the clock. If the temperature is decreased, if the temperature is decreased, okay, so if the temperature is decreased, clock is running fast, Clock is running fast, hence it gains the time. It gains the time. To make a note of this, one more point also. Time lost or time gained by the pendulum per day. Time lost or time gained by the pendulum per day is time lost or time gained by the pendulum per day is delta t equals to half alpha delta theta into 86,400. Why I wrote 86,400 means
Sir,
it is
board is blur, sir.
earlier now also.
Yes, sir, it's blur, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
So here earlier what you wrote, delta t is equal to half alpha delta theta into t only, no? T naught you have taken, no? Isn't it? That for one day means one day consists of 86,400 seconds. The time lost or time gained by the pendulum per day is these many seconds. Half alpha delta theta into 86,400 seconds. Okay. So now next last application. This is okay. So expansion of the measuring tapes keeps abiding. Expansion of the measuring tapes. Okay, expansion of the measuring tapes. Okay, so this is an expansion of the measuring tapes. Generally, scales are there. No? You may use that metal steel scales, isn't it or not? Steel is a solid. Steel also can expand on heating. So if the temperature of the steel is increases, decreases, what will be happen? Let us see. A scale will measure the correct reading at its calibrate temperature. Calibrate temperature means at what temperature the scale was calibrated, it was printed. So like 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter. At what particular temperature it is printed, at that particular temperature it will shows the correct reading. So because at that particular temperature only the distance between the two digits distance between the two digits on a scale is accurate. So if the temperature is increases, then what will be happen? Scale is expanded. The distance between the two digits of a scale is changes. If the temperature is decreases, the distance between the temperature, that is also what it is changes. So there also it will show the different reading. So then how can we correct the reading on those cases? For example, so can you observe this one? Okay, so here it is. So this is the scale, okay. So and this is the body whose length is L, whose coefficient of linear expansion. Let us see this one right first. First here, first case is only scale expands, and if both the scale and body both are expanded, how can we say that? For example, at theta 1 degree temperature, this scale is calibrated. Okay, so let L is the length which we are going to measure. For example, at that particular temperature, by using this scale, the value of L we got 58 centimeter. Understand this point clearly, 58 centimeter. So if the temperature is increases, what will be happen? The length of the scale is increased, no? Isn't it or not? The length of the scale is increased means 58. The division number 58 will be expanded, no? The division number 58 is expanded means now this scale showing the reading as 56. But actual length is what? 58. But because of the change in temperature, it is showing 56. Then what is an error means this is nothing but error. This is nothing but delta L is the expansion. That is nothing but error. For example, if the temperature is decreases, then what will be happen? Temperature is decreases means observe clearly. So if the temperature is decreases, then the scale will contract. When the scale is contract means the division number 58 will brought to left side. On such case, if the 58 is brought to left side means 5960 is coming towards this side edge of this object. Now the scale is measuring 60 degrees, 60 centimeters. So when the temperature is decreases means when the temperature is decreases, the scale will shows the more value than actual reading, and if the temperature is decreases, the scale is showing the less value than actual reading. So then how can we correct means so according to this then actual length, true length or actual length, okay, true length L is equals to true length L equal to what can I write? So this is the reading plus delta L, I can write reading plus delta L. So then delta L is equal to what can I write? Delta L is nothing but initially, so this length of the object, this 58 centimeter are of equal length. So then if we are considering expansion of this part means the length will be equivalent to 58, that's equals to L only. Delta L equals to L alpha into delta theta, I can write. So therefore L alpha into delta theta means substituted this value, true length, okay, true length L that's equals to R plus L alpha into delta theta. So then R is equals to what can I write? R is equals to L minus L alpha into delta theta. So therefore R is equal to L of 1 minus alpha into delta theta. If that is taken that side, then L is equals to R divided by 1 minus alpha into alpha of scalar. S stands for scale. Let me write this. Okay, alpha S into delta theta. So that implies L is equals to R of 1 minus alpha S into delta theta whole power minus 1. So the same thing here. I can use binomial expansion. Yesterday, what we have used 1 minus x whole power minus n means I can write here these two minus will become plus, then true length L is equals to R of 1 plus alpha into delta theta. So here L is nothing but true length, R is nothing but reading of the measuring tapes, alpha S is the linear coefficient of expansion of the scale. So this is where we can use this. Is this formula is applicable for decreasing temperature also means definitely. So when the temperature is decreases, then what will be happen? Temperature is decreases means tape will shows the more length. On such case, true length L is equal to reading minus delta L only. Reading minus delta L. There So here if I took reading plus delta L means I got plus here. So then here the actual length that is equal reading minus delta L means I should get minus, or instead of falling temperature means here theta 2 minus theta 1 all anyway it will become negative, there also we will get minus. That's why this formula is applicable for both expansion of the measuring tape and contraction of the measuring tape. So this is about the expansion of the measuring tape. It's a simple thing. So the scale will shows the normal steel scales are there in geometry boxes. Those scales also can expand on heating, can contract on cooling. So then at what temperature those scales will give the correct reading means at what temperature the scale is printed on that metal slab. At that particular temperature the measuring tape will give the correct reading. At that particular temperature only the distance between the two digits of a scale is accurate. That's why there it will give the correct reading. So therefore, for example, let the length of the rod is L. Okay, so at that calibrated temperature theta 1 degree, whose length is 58 degrees. For example, if the temperature of the scale is increased to some value, then what will be happened? The scale will expand. The distance between the two digits of a scale is increases, so therefore the division 58 will move towards right. The division 58 will move towards the right means now for example if 56 is brought to this edge means what we can feel that the length of the rod is 56 but actual length of the rod is 58. So therefore this in this case this scale is showing error. So then how can we correct means the true length this is equal to reading plus expansion of this scale. So that's why I got true length that is equal to L equal to R plus delta L. So but delta L that is equals to what? L alpha s into delta theta. Initially this object length and this 58 centimeter both are same. We have to consider the expansion of this 58 centimeter length scale column. That's why this delta L means initial length that is nothing but equal rod length L alpha s into delta theta. With proper calculation we got this. For example, if the temperature is decreases, then what will be happen means if the temperature is decreases, the distance between the two digits of the scale is decreased. That's why the division number 58 is there. For example, it is move towards right. Okay, sorry, move towards left. On such case, then what will be happen means 58 is coming this side, then 59 or 60 is coming towards this side. For example, 60 is coincide means at this particular temperature we notice that length of the rod is 60, but actual length of the rod is 58. So therefore, then what is the actual length here means actual length is nothing but reading minus compression of the length, reading R minus delta L. The same formula you can use here. Instead of plus we will get minus, or else you can keep no problem. You can take the delta theta is anyway we are getting negative. No? That's why this plus can be replaced by minus. So there we can find expansion of the measuring tapes. Got it?
Sir, delta L is equal to L into 1 plus alpha delta theta, no sir?
Delta L is equals to
L into 1 plus alpha delta theta, no sir?
Sure. Sure, is that? Check it once.
Yes sir.
Sure. Sure that L into 1 plus alpha delta theta is the delta L value. Huh? Guy, please respond.
Sorry sir, you are correct.
No, it is this is alpha equals to delta L by L into delta theta. No, then delta L equals to L alpha into delta theta. Here S stands for linear expansion of the scale. That's it, nothing. Okay, don't get confused.
So can I explain that L equals to R minus delta L, sir?
You got it. This R plus delta L actual length is this is the reading. Okay, R is nothing but reading. Delta L is the expansion. So same thing here. What is an actual length is what, 58 centimeter. No, got it. Actual length, for example, it is 58 centimeter. If the temperature is decreases, then what will be happen? 58 will move towards left. Now the maybe 60th division coincide with this edge. At this instant, okay, unknown person can feel that or can notice that the length of the rod is 60 centimeter. But what is an actual length of the rod? 58 centimeter. So we are getting a 2 centimeter extra or not? That 2 centimeter is extra is because of the compression of this measuring tape. Then length of the rod, that is equals to reading minus, okay, this reading 60 minus minus compression means what is the compression? 2 centimeter. So reading 60 minus compression 2 centimeter means anyway we are going to get it 58 only. No? Got it?
Yes, I got it.
So first note down this, then I will give the one note also. One note also. True length. So here R stands for what? If you want, you can write L is true length. Here R stands for reading. Okay. So there you can write reading. R stands for reading. Make a note of this. So if the scale and object both are expanded, 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 then true length, true length, true length L is equals to R of true length L equals to R of 1 plus R of 1 plus 1 plus alpha of object minus alpha of scale into delta theta means we can write like this. So here alpha stands for what? Linear linear expansion of object. Alpha S stands for linear expansion of scale. R stands for reading. So then we can write L is equals to R of 1 minus alpha of object minus alpha of S into delta theta means then we can write okay. So we can write theta 2 minus theta 1. So this is about the, we can write it so that I think this is plus now, we got minus plus earlier. Plus on, yeah, yes, that's it. So this is about the thing we can write it. Okay. So right, so this is the for expansion of solids completely applications also. So tomorrow we'll see expansion of liquids. Okay. Anything else, students?
So test questions included today's class also.
Yeah, expansion of liquids are also there. Liquids we don't have much topics. Only it is 1 or 2 concepts are there. Anomalous expansion of water, real apparent expansion. Anyway, that will be finished by tomorrow. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So right. See you on next class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. So right. See you guys on next class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Right. అయిపోయిందా బస్సు రాసుకుంటారు ಇಲ್ಲ